person's fault. Oh, it was the person. Yes, we are back live on Facebook. So those that were on Facebook with us, we're so sorry. It was like a technical glitch. So we are back here on Facebook. So the funny thing is, we just snap at the person. We are very angry at the person. This morning, talking about temper tantrums. It has happened to a lot of us, like a lot of us. Even when you see small children and child say, "Auntie, how are you?" You just snap at the person. And for you, you don't feel anything. But for the person, to be very sincere, for the person has felt a lot of pain, a lot of distress, a lot of heartache because of what you have done. So this morning we'll be talking about those things. Even with our temperaments, you say you are melancholy, and part of the traits of a melancholy that they don't talk. Even when you do things to them, they believe they're perfection. Yeah, that's part of the traits they say melancholies have. But the question now is this: how has your temperament, how are those tantrums affected other people around you? That's the question we are asking this morning. Has it been that you say that, oh, I know this thing is not what, I'm not that kind of person that does things like that to people. We're waiting for Minister Tobi Osho. This morning we're going to be having Minister Tobi Osho on Life Matters today. So, a lot of people just say, oh, it's not me, oh, it's my husband, or oh, no, it's not me, it's this. And a lot of times, it's not even our spouses. It's that thing you're bringing from work. It's that particular thing you're bringing from work. So you come back from work, you throw everything at the person. You make the person feel bad. You make the person feel, oh, no, it's not my fault. It was what you did. But if you really sit down and look at yourself, you know that it was actually you. It was you. If it was not you, yes, we're here with Minister Tobi Osho. Yes. This morning we are having Minister Tobi Osho. Funny enough, we know him as a singer until me and him had like a talk, and he told me, I'm a psychologist, and there was a day we're talking about all these things, even as a music minister, how people will just do things to you, or you're going for a show somewhere and the person just snaps at you or says the wrong thing to you, and you're feeling like, what? No, this is not what happened. This is, a lot of times it happens to a lot of us, right? It happens to a lot of us, and we're thinking, oh, no, it's normal, and if you're not careful, we'll just have everybody exploding on each other. Do you know that? Everybody just keeps exploding. I don't know why. Minister Tobi Osho, please, I don't know why we can't get to add you live on Facebook. So please, if it's a network glitch, please let us know so that we can know how to get this along. It's saying that you cannot accept or something. So yeah, a lot of times we have that thing where we just have people go around bottled up, and when every little thing comes up, boom, it's like a time bomb waiting to blow up. It happens to a lot of us. A lot of us. And what happens? We now see that a lot of people actually just go around. Wow. Mr. Tobi Osho, please, can you send me a request? I don't know why this thing is not adding people up. Please, can you send me a request? Thank you. So a lot of times we continue with these tantrums, and it's because we've actually not put our attention to it. Like, we've not put our minds to see that, we've not put our minds to see that these things are, what they call it. I don't know why I can't add Mr. Tobi Osho. A lot of times we have people like that just walk around, blow up on other people. But how do we help ourselves? Number one, when you are stressed up, you are tensed up, and you know that a lot of things have been happening to you, you've had a long day, you know what? The old trick is this: when you're dealing with even kids, just try to speak softly. Imagine that person that is going through that stress is your husband, and he just comes back from work. You see he's stressed. Speak softly. It's not that time you have to pick up a fight. It's not that time you have to get angry. I don't know why I cannot add you, Mr. Tobi Osho. I have no clue. Can you send me a request? I can see you on the screen, but we can't see you via video. A lot of times it happens to a lot of people. where we just come out of the blue and we say, you know what, this thing, I'm not going to take it again. You know, sometimes you come up and say, oh, this, I cannot take this kind of rubbish this person is doing to me. But in the real sense of it, it's just how you're communicating with this person. It's how you're communicating with this particular person. So why not just speak softly? You know he's stressed from work. You know there are things that he or she has done. Maintain a normal cadence. Like if the person is screaming, shouting, doing this, just be calm. Yes, I know it can be difficult, but try to be very, very calm. Be very, very calm. No matter what it is, be very, very calm. Yes, it's not easy, especially when you are stressed out, or maybe work didn't really go as perfect or as nice as you wanted it to go through. My brothers and sisters, at that point, you're just calm. Another thing you can do is, you can softly just ask the person, how can I be of help? Or if you are the one that is stressed, why not just calmly tell the person, please, I don't want to talk for this moment. I am actually tensed up and I don't want to transfer aggression to you. It will make the world and so many marriages a better place. Okay, we're gonna be having Mr. Tobi Osho, please send me a request ASAP. I don't know why the network is doing this, but yeah, we're finding it hard to hide him up on the show. You know, take a few breaths before speaking. Okay, you know you are tensed up. You know you're going to transfer aggression. You yourself already know, right? I am really trying to add you up and I am not. It's not adding up. Yes. So I'm really trying to add Mr. Tobi Osho, but it's not adding up. I have no idea why. So please just send me requests. Send me requests. I have no clue why it's not coming up. So a lot of times it happens to all of us like that, where the best thing you can do is to just calmly and quietly inhale. In Spanish, they call it inhala, exhala. I forgot how they say it. But you just inhale and exhale before you do anything. Respect yourself and respect the boundaries. So if you're the one that is tensed up, try and put yourself in the shoe of the person they are going to yell at. Try and do that. Put yourself in the shoe of the person you are going to yell at. Put yourself in that person's shoe. So if it is that you are the one that I'm saying the reverse of it, you are the one that is happening to, like someone else is transferring aggression at you. Why not just be calm? Yes, I know you are mad. I know you are very angry at that situation, but be calm. Be very calm. Yes. So we have gotten Minister Tobi's up. Another thing you can do is take a time out. Take a time out from whatever it is. Maybe you're coming back from work and you know that your wife will too be tired. Take a time out. Just relax. Take about 10 minutes in the car and just welcome, Minister Tobi. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
The devil is a liar. I don't know what happened in the last 30 minutes, but yeah. So I'll just let you get right to it. I try to kind of build a foundation of what we're supposed to talk about today. But one, what's temperament for you? You're a psychologist, so we want to hear all the academic part of it, and from your experience as a music minister, how does our temperament affect us as people?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. So today we'll be talking about temperament. We have 4 types of temperament. We have the sanguine, we have the choleric, and we have the phlegmatic. You know. So
and the melancholy.
Melancholy.
Yeah.
So like you said earlier, you were talking about some people having issues, you know. The main reason why we're discussing today is people having issues with one another, trying to, you know, so, but basically, the first thing to do when we have, I'm going to go with temper tantrum first. So the first thing to do is when you
Okay.
have when you have issues like that, the first thing you need to do is you just remain calm. You know, when you want to deal with anger issues, like I was discussing with you the other time about what do we call it now? About defense mechanisms. Defense mechanisms are these are ways in which we, tend to manage our temper. So now we have types of defense mechanisms. We have like that.
Network
So
is amazing. Nigeria shall make it great.
can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I think we can hear you now because it was breaking up.
Okay. Okay. So I was talking about the ways to avoid um, temper. So the
Okay.
first we have defense mechanism in avoiding temper, and
Mm,
so the first one is denial. Denial is like, for instance, you have okay, something bad happened, and then you just decide to just forget about it. You put it in your subconscious. That is
mm,
denial. And so what happens then is that while denial is good, it has its own side effect too. It's possible for you to actually put something in your subconscious, but then you have a relapse. That particular thing
mm,
comes back to you, and then we also have repression.
mm,
So repression is just you forget about it. You're not putting it in your subconscious, like someone who suffers from child abuse now,
mm.
like rape and all of that. So you just choose to forget about totally, erase it, but it takes more time compared to denial. So,
Mm.
and then displacement will be that you get angry over, for instance, you went for an interview and then you're trying to get a job and then you didn't get the job. So what the next thing you do is you look for something. uh
No, people are writing their comments, right? Temperament types respond
yeah, 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 yeah,
differently.
yeah.
Babatunde.
Yes, sanguine, yes, just like Vicky
Sanguines are
says
the
sanguine are the
loudest.
loudest.
And someone said, Babatunde said, phlegmatic will likely be calm. A choleric will never likely be calm. He said sanguine could throw a tantrum, but can easily apologize. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
kind
see,
of
you
true.
see, our guys, even they know what we're talking about. So
Yeah.
yeah, so basically, I'm still coming back um to the temperament. So I'm still talking on the temper issue. So one of the first thing to do when you're angry with someone, the first thing to do is you remain calm. Just put yourself in a state of calmness. Or even if you know, okay, this thing is so bad, then you can't really. The best thing you do is you can just take a time out. You can walk away,
Mm,
take a time out, and then come back.
mm. Oh yeah. So Babatunde is a graduate of psychology in University of Ibadan. So he knows all these things very well. Yes.
Can you imagine? Wow, Mr. Babatunde, nice to meet you here. Wow. All right. So as I was saying, I was talking about I was talking displacement where people you just common, especially in this part of the world. Why you see people uh actually how would I put it now?
Aggressive at anybody that comes their
At
way.
anybody, like for instance, now let me use this for an instance. Now maybe, okay, for instance, the husband is at probably was working, and then something happened at the place of work. Then instead of taking it out on, or just facing it, then the husband comes home and then, face the wife, and then the wife will be the one to,
And she
and you
transfers
should
it to
have,
the children,
yeah, you
and
should
the
have done
children
this, and
transfer
then the
it to
next
their
thing is,
own friends.
so, and the next thing you do is you flare up, and then, and then the children too will suffer from that, you know
Yes.
transfer of aggression. So the best thing
Mm.
to do is you remain calm, or you take some time out, just walk away, or you can just take a deep breath and calm down. So
Mm. So someone is asking what your temperament type is actually.
wow, are you serious? Someone is asking what my temperament is. Well,
Okay.
I would say I'm just okay, Mr. Babatunde. Mr. Babatunde
I don't
has
want to read
has
his
has
answer yet. I don't want to read his answer yet. I want you to actually answer first, and let's see if he's actually correct before you read his answer. What's your temperament like? Like, if you look at everything, if you weigh the four of them,
okay. I would say I'm more of I'm flag, between flag and melancholy.
he's actually correct. Oh my God. But they said you are flag male. He said you are even more of a flag Jare.
Are you
And the
serious?
funny thing is that you actually oh my God, my people,
Yeah, can you imagine?
psychologists have done another psychologist on the live today. So what today is an artist and
Wow.
also a psychologist. So I have so many psychologists.
Wow, awesome.
I have so many psychologists in my life. Oh my God. Okay, so you were talking about transfer of aggression in this, and being that part of the world is like Nigeria, where we have that
Yeah.
transfer thing. So how do we help the spouse that constantly, because you're downing my emotions and this is me being the transferee, if we use that kind of English, like I'm the one that gets all the whiplash and all the whatever from the spouse or from the friend or from the parent every time, what they call it, every time that this person transfers aggression. So now the person is bottled up and is talking to you as a psychologist that, oh, sir, this is what I've been going through for the past 5 years in my marriage. How do we help that kind of person?
Okay. Well, okay, if I get what you're saying right, you said you okay, you are the person who get all the blame and
So
everything
she's the
for
one
the
getting all the
for the transfer of
backlash.
aggression.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so what you're going to do is, for a couple, what you're going to do is, the first thing I advise you do is, of course, go to a counseling psychologist, and then after that, both of them have to work hand in hand to make sure that it's going to work. Because
Mm.
you can get married to someone so what you are going to do is, you once you see that person start exhibiting, like, once, if the husband is the one exhibiting um the high temper, what you're going to do is, you just either walk away, since you know that person, walk away, or you just,
Mm.
remain calm. But of course, there's a spiritual aspect to this. But because we're talking about
Mm.
psychology,
So
so I
you
would
can
just
give us that spiritual side to it, so that there's sort of a balance. Yeah.
okay, okay. The one of the ways to to respond to situations like this, the first thing you do is, as a believer, the first thing you do is, you of course make sure you are in tune with the Spirit of God. Make sure that you
Mm.
you are you are open to the Spirit of God, not that you are just acting, because marriage has to do with two broken people working together. People who are
Mm.
broken, so who are ready to allow the Spirit of God to. It's not, marriage is not perfect people. It's not just two perfect people working together. of course, you might. The funny thing is, you might be dating someone, and then the person might not even exhibit. You might think, okay, this match is made in heaven, but then you get to your to the marriage stage, and then you start seeing things that you know you cannot even imagine. So the best thing to do is, both of you, since you find yourself in that place, divorce is not the best thing. Divorce is not the best thing. Since you find yourself in that stage, the best thing is to do is that you work it out. And how do you work it out? You make sure that you have a spiritual, how will I put it, a spiritual base. Aside the fact that you, of course, the psychology aspect that you have to the psychology part that you have to calm down, and then you have to, but you need to have a spiritual base for this thing to work, because you have to allow the Holy Spirit to help you. Because even normally, as outside marriage, normally you see people just do things, just get you, just as if it's just as if people are just sent to you to just
like you imagine you want to collect change from probably a conductor, and you're like,
yeah, and then the person,
and she snaps at you, and you're like, it is change, like
yeah.
Like, what they call it, like, these things are not heavy, and see, it's just ordinary change, but the way she snaps at you, she's bottled up.
And that is why you have to respond in a better way, because you know better. I don't know if you get where I'm coming from. You have to respond better, because what that person is doing is not her actually reacting. It's transfer of aggression. It's just a transfer of aggression. So what is happening there is you have to actually just respond to her. Okay, this person is reacting like this. Okay, this is the reason why this person is acting like this. If you as a person now react at the same pace, at the same level in which she's reacting to you, then forget it.
Okay, so someone is asking, for people who don't have like a spiritual mind or spiritual perspective to it. So going back to you being a psychology now, I think you have to switch places. Now let's continue from where we stopped. What will you say to help them to know or understand? So that is, how do we help people that go through these tantrums? And that is the person exhibiting it and the person that the tantrum is actually being transferred to, be that either partner or a child or a boss or whatever it is.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to go. Okay, let me just take it one after the other. The thing to do, aside the spiritual thing, what I would advise is that you need to study the person in question, like the person who is exhibiting that tantrum. You have to study that person. You have to know that person. Okay, this is what a person would do. This is what this person. Okay, you just try and understand the behavioral pattern of that person. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. You have to understand that the pattern in which, no, this person. Okay, if you do this particular thing, it's something is going to happen. If you do this particular thing, so yeah, it triggers, that particular thing that triggers that particular thing. So what you do is you try as much as possible to avoid such scenarios. So, but apart from that, the other person too, who is the main person, who is always angry, the best thing to do for that person is to calm down. Once you see that, okay, you are really angry, you either walk out, just walk down the road, or just walk down and then come back. So, and then you by the time you are back, you feel better, and then I think that's just
communication is one key. I'm sorry. I think communication is a very important key when it comes to things like that. One thing you said is get a counseling psychology. But for those that can't, even after you take the whatever up and down, I think it's great that you come back and you're able to communicate with your spouse in the best means necessary, so that the person is not locked in the dark of knowing what exactly is going on with you. Okay, so Rachel is asking a question. Rachel said, but what if you know what triggers them and you don't do it, but the other person keeps rubbing it in and you keep forgiving, then the person keeps repeating this misbehavior. So I know this is what triggers you, but the person comes with different styles, different things every day. And like I said, most women will just bottle it up. For those that can't speak out, they bottle it up, bottle it up, bottle it up for a very long time until it's like the impulsive and explosive angry person, until the person just explodes and like, I don't think I can take this anymore because of this and that. So like she's asking, when you know what triggers this person, how do you still create a balance? Because this person is still going through to do the same thing, still gonna get angry. You don't, because I really cannot know so much of what will trigger you when I'm not coming from your workplace, right?
Okay.
So how do you help that kind of person?
Okay. Like I said earlier, like the first thing to do when you're in that kind of scenario is to meet a counseling psychologist. Once you see that this person is repeating, there's a particular behavioral pattern this person is repeating over and over and over and over again, the best thing to do is you go to a counseling psychologist. And then when you go to the counseling psychologist, you make sure you follow the behavioral the what the counseling psychologist will tell you to do. Now if like what she said something about if you know what triggers them and then you don't do it, but the other person keeps rubbing it in and you keep forgiving but they keep repeating. Now once you try as much as possible to avoid such scenarios and it's not working, the best thing to do that I would advise to you to do is to pray about it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
is to pray about
Do
it.
you
That is
think that
the
as Christians, okay, sorry, you're saying something.
yeah, because there are a lot of things, psychology itself is just the study of the mind and behavior, and how we behave and how it's, but
Hmm.
but I believe every single thing, every single thing we exhibit, like in terms of behavior,
Hmm.
comes from our mind. So, and then
Hmm.
if we do not take these things, there are some things that you take to a counseling psychologist, you won't be able to handle it over after some time. So the best thing to do is you go to God. I'm talking from the spiritual point of view now. You go to God, you
Hmm.
pray about it, and because there's nothing prayer cannot do. I've seen
Hmm.
people change. I've seen people who you would say there's no hope for this person, but then I've seen people who change as a result of prayer. So I would say you just
Okay, so she said, I don't think we met a stubborn man before. Even with the counselor, this guy wasn't even listening. And so the prayers continue for years, no change, not years. For the couple is sad.
wow.
Rachel, another thing that I would say is this is my mentality about prayers. I believe that God answers prayers, but it takes time and process. There's a reason why God has actually placed that woman in the man's life. And most times I always see it this way, that for God to place you in that person's life, and the person, and like you said, the person has been counseled, you've been praying, and the person is still exhibiting those characters, then God is building up something in you. That's one thing I always say, that even though this person is repeating the same thing, still making you feel bad about some things that you're going through, I believe that God is creating a particular capacity in you. Because when you become stronger and sort of immune in that sense, then it reaches out that even when an ordinary person on the road transfers aggression, or pause the aggression on you, you just smile because you have already gone through that process before. I don't know if that sort of answers that question in that light.
Yeah.
Before we end the show,
Okay.
okay, yeah, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was going to just add to what you were saying. I was
Okay.
going to say, you know, if this person is going through this particular thing, like I said, you would need to pray about it. But on the other hand, just like you said, some things happen to you to just to build for you to build capacity.
Hmm.
You know, you find yourself in some kind of scenarios, and then why not see it as God, you know, working on you? Why not see it as God, building you for something greater, or building you for something big? So that's what I'm going to just advise, that you should just be patient, and then be patient, and the Bible says that God will not give you a temptation that that uh, that is bigger than you, and then He will always make a way. You know, so that will be my advice for you, Mrs. Rachel. Just
Now,
remain calm. And Pastor
I,
Essay, wow.
okay, so I want to ask you something. Is it possible to exhibit temper and tantrum towards God as His child?
Sorry, come again. Sorry.
Is it? I heard this thing, and it's interesting. When I read the article, it changed some things in my mind. They said, and the question is it possible to
Okay.
actually exhibit temper and tantrum towards God as your father, you being the child?
Hmm.
You've
Okay.
never
Is
thought
it
about
possible?
it, right?
That's deep. All right.
Hmm.
Like, is it possible for you to exhibit temper tantrum towards God as your father, you being the child?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's very possible.
Okay, so
Because
how do you think how would you know that you're actually doing that? I'm trying to put you on the
yes.
odd seat today.
Okay. Okay. How you would know you're doing that is, for instance, you've been expecting God to do something for you. For instance, you're expecting God to do something for you, and then it's not coming, and then you're just like, saying, just start blaming, putting your blame on God, like, God, why will you put me in this kind of situation? Why will you allow this to happen to me? Why will you, and then you start ranting, and in fact, you might even go to the point of saying, okay, in fact, I'm not even going to church. I'm not doing this. I'm not serving again. I'm
Mm,
not doing this. So it's very,
mm,
very possible. It's very, very possible. So,
mm,
but then, but
mm,
then, but the most important part is that God loves you unconditionally. Whether you exhibit that, His love for you will
mm,
not change. Will not
mm,
change.
mm. And you know that it's still a lot of times, even when we exhibit these tantrums, and when you nag on God, sort of, God doesn't look at that side of you, and that's one thing we're talking about last night. I wish you came up online
Wow.
yesterday. We're talking about should you still be close with your best friend when you're married? And we got a lot of married people bring up so many scenarios of what was going on in their like marriages and everything. But this is one thing that I took up from it, is that even when you do those wrong things, and one thing I kind of said was weigh the good and bad. So, and that's one thing, God doesn't remember your bad. So when you love from the angle of where God is taking you, as I'm loving you like my brother, I'm loving you like the love God has for you, even though I can't do, because in my heart the capacity of my heart naturally is wicked and is desperately wicked and very evil. So it only takes that God factor in me to be able to exhibit that love. So
Hmm.
a lot of times, even when we exhibit tantrums towards God, or we exhibit tantrums even towards our parents, or we transfer it, the reason why that parent to child thing always differs a lot is because they always look at the love, the process in which you came towards, and that's the same thing God kind of does. He looks at the process which his son came on earth, died for you, you were preached to,
Hmm.
you understand the process before you gave your heart to him. So he doesn't remember all the bad things or all these tantrums, but he remembers that love, which is key for him, which is very, very important. So we'll still be live on Facebook, but to wrap it up on the radio show today, I want to ask you, what would be your advice to parents that over the years have always, or to, let me say, to kids, to young adults that over the years have been in homes where they have had what they call this thing, uh should we call it, they've had this transfer of aggression happening to them over and over and over again. What will be your advice? What will be your own little tiny coin of help to them?
Okay. What I'm going to say concerning the parents who are having issues with their temper and are transferring their aggression is that because when you transfer as the parent, when you transfer your aggression on your child, there's a 50-50% chance that that child will grow up, having some kind of mindset, some kind of towards others. I mean, towards his peers. Now, you will have issues, relating with people. Those things affect the children. So my advice to the parents is that they try and make sure that whenever they are having such kind of transfer of aggression, or maybe something happened somewhere, and then because something happened and then you transfer the whole aggression on your child, what I would advise that you do is stay calm. Especially when that issue is happening, stay calm and try and avoid such scenarios. So that would be my
And
that would
for
be my
kids
advice.
that have gone through it, what would you tell them?
Okay,
Because
for kids that because we have a lot of people or kids now that are having issues with their day-to-day activities and all of that. What I would advise for such children is that they should try and you know look at it from a point of view of God working on them, and then so that they won't just try and see it as God working on you, working in you, and working for you. So that would be my advice to so the so but
thank
then okay.
yeah,
Okay,
you,
but then for both parties, I mean for the parent and for the child, now the best thing to do is good that the family is built around love. That Christ is the center of of that family. It's very important. If if the family have a strong spiritual or a strong relationship with God, and then everyone is doing fine, there won't be any issue of anger. And there are some people you walk into their homes and then you just feel peace. Nobody's saying anything, nobody's even, you just feel comfortable and you feel relaxed because of the kind of atmosphere they have in that they've created over time. So let love rule, let love take over. That would be my advice for everyone.
thank
God
you
bless
very
you.
much, Minister Tobi Osho, all the way from Nigeria, and you heed our call. Thank you very much. This is Life Matters with Aanu Adedire. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook Live. I have more of the show happen on Instagram Live, so follow me up on Instagram Live after the show. Thank you everyone for coming in today, and for those tuning with us on Amenradio, thank you very much. God bless you. We've technically come to the end of our show for 11 o'clock. God bless you, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Anu, for having me.
Okay, so I think we're off radio right now. Yay. So for every one of us here, and like I know that every one of us here always have that point in our lives, even as music ministers. Yes, I wanted you to talk about that. So as a music minister, have you actually experienced that part where you how will I put it? You went to minister somewhere and probably they didn't give you like maybe the right mic or the right this or the right that, like there's actually a breach of something somewhere, and you just finished performing or whatever. Has it happened to you where you had transferred aggression or transferred some sort of whatever to your band members, and you later reflect and you're like, well, Tobi, you're not supposed to act like that? Or has it happened where it's the guest that actually transferred aggression on you as the artist, even when you didn't do anything?
Well, I've not. I would say I'm not trying to be. How would I put it? I'm not trying to be clean or something, but I've not had any scenario like that. You know, although I've had scenarios that would have warranted me to react. You know, but
Okay.
you know, it's good that you, even as a music minister, it's good that right from the start you know the reason why you are in that particular field, that particular assignment, that particular thing you're doing. Have a reason why you're doing it. It's not because whether so by the time people start doing things to you, or people start saying, this guy, or you go to somewhere to minister and then nothing, maybe you just go and then the place was just dry or something, you know, the best thing, the best thing to do once you find yourself in such scenarios, of course, as a music minister, is that you go back to God in
Mm,
prayer, and then, you know, just reflect and think, because
mm,
you would always face, as a music minister, you would always face, like I said earlier, I've had scenarios where I went to minister somewhere, and then even, you know, although it's very few, but yeah, I went to minister somewhere, and then things, something just, so, you probably you thought, okay, you were, for instance, I don't ask for money. I don't ask for honorarium. That is me. Like, I don't do.
mm, mm, mm. Yeah, we have technical glitch. Yeah, so yeah, for those that joined us earlier, we know we've had an amazing time with Mr. Tobi Osho. We've had a lot of technical and network issues. So I would say categorically that we have actually gained a lot. And when I say gained a lot, I mean, oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's me. So yeah, we've had a lot. We have a lot of amazing time this morning. Um, so I would say that please share this video. You don't know who it will help. You don't know who will really need this. Okay, I think Minister Tobi Show is back. Yeah, you don't know who will need it. You don't know who will come on your show or on your live and actually need this. So please share the video, and also you can get preview of the past shows on my in my YouTube channel, which is Adedire. So you can share from the YouTube channel. This also will be on the YouTube channel, and also it's on my timeline on Instagram, and to also be on my Facebook page. Please share the video. God bless you. Thank you very much. Or some way, Josephine, just send me a direct message on my Facebook. Just send me a message. I will see it in my Facebook inbox. Yes. So for those that listen to us from different parts of the world, my name is Aanu Adedire. I am this is a show that God had put in my heart since last year, and God has been using different people to help us. Next week was gonna be amazing. We'll be talking about a very, very interesting topic. And funny enough, next week the show is gonna fall on Valentine's Day on the 14th of February. So you don't want to miss the topic. I know you don't want to miss it. So yes, please, for anyone that has questions, things that are burdening their heart, anything that you want to talk about, you just send me a personal message on Facebook and I'm going to respond to you immediately. Share the video. God bless you. Thank you for everyone, to Josephine, to Esther, to Olanyinka, to Mr. Tobi Osho, to Babatunde, to everyone, to Baba D, everyone that came on the live. Thank you very much. God bless you. I'm gonna see you next week. And remember, always proclaim the name of Jesus in every situation you go through. God bless you and have an amazing week.